Hi, everyone. So, I wanted to do an episode about two things today. The first one is sorry for any repetition because I don't know. I feel like I might have mentioned the calmer earbuds or earplugs, whatever you call them, before, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I wanted to talk about, I guess the company is called Flare Audio, or that's the name of the company that makes this stuff. And then Calmer, Calmer. You guys have probably heard of this stuff, and I'm like the last person in the world to figure out that there are things that can help with like my sensitivities to sound. So anyways, I have a pair of, I don't know, I'm just going to call them earplugs, but they're not earplugs, the calmer ones. Actually, the grandma that I like, what's her name? The autistic woman, on her podcast, which is called, what is it called? Meet My Autistic Brain. She actually interviewed the creators of Calmer, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, because I had just gotten that for a Christmas gift. Alicia got me that, and I didn't even know such things existed. I had no idea. I think I might have actually mentioned that I thought that like Loops or something was like a headset or like not a headset, what, like the headphones or whatever. I don't know. Am I talking? I'm so sorry. But I would just want to compare the two. This is just my experience with them in case there's anybody out there like on the fence, like, do I try them or not? Because they're not cheap. Like, Calmer was $25 and Loops was $35. Because I wanted to see like how Loops did because they're so popular. But anyways, so Calmer, I love it. It's not an earplug, even though I just called it that. You just stick it in your ear. Like, you could look up all the information on it on the handy dandy internet or Amazon. But you just put them inside your ear canal, and for the most part, they stay put. I actually ordered a pair that has like a lanyard, like you put it around your neck, so that way if like one of them falls off or whatever, like it's not going anywhere, because I wear these indoors right now. Like, I don't wear these outside of the house because like they would fall out if I was, I don't know, like, not that I move my head a lot when I go outside, but I feel like I would lose it. And I don't want to lose those. So I've been wearing them inside, and oh my God, do they make a difference? It's insane. I couldn't tell the difference for the first couple of days. And it was like the third day I noticed there was huge differences between having them in and taking them out. And having them in doesn't even muffle sound really. It just kind of filters in like the sounds that your ear like should be hearing, or makes them less harsh on the eardrum or whatever. So for example, in my room, which is where I'm at right now, when the heater kicks on, it's pretty loud. And let's say like I am watching something on the TV, and so I'll turn the volume up because the heater is so loud. When I have the calmer things in my ears, none of that sound bothers me. Like the heater, turning up the TV, but when I have them out, like, it's a lot going into my head. Like, I had no idea that, I guess hearing so much every day, all the time, I had no idea how, like, I understand sensory stuff and I get how that affects the brain, but like, you really just don't even know the difference until you get a pair of these. At least me. It's insane. And so I thanked Alicia, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have known that those existed. And I had gone on Amazon surprised that she got me a Christmas gift that had a rating of 3.5 out of 5. And I tried not to be, well, I did. I said something to her. I was like, you got me something with this kind of a rating? I was like, did you read the comments? And she said she did. So I went down to read them, and it's mixed reviews. Sometimes half the people said it helped them, half the people said it didn't. And she wanted to take the chance, and she took a good chance because they do work. But I am going to just wear those all the time, except for when I sleep. They don't hurt my ears. I often forget that they're even in. And these two little silicone pieces of whatever make my life so much easier. Like at the end of the day, I still have energy for like all this other stuff. I don't really feel that irritable. And like, I'm wondering like how much sound contributes to like my moods. Because I feel like I just feel different at the end of each day. That's the best way I can describe it. So I guess sound really does affect me. And then loops, comparing the two, I am not a huge fan of loops. So, like, I read the description, I wanted to try it anyways, and they've got, like, different kinds that do different things for your ears, just like Calmer does. But loops are basically just like regular earplugs. So this little box comes in this. And you know what? I just got to say it again. If there's anybody out there that works at Amazon or has any influence in decision making at Amazon, what the hell is up with the packaging? This tiny ass little box of earbuds came in this huge envelope thing. You know, those blue and white ones? Like, do you really need that? Like, how can you not get like packaging that makes more sense and is not wasteful? Like, I need you to talk to your people about that, please. But anyways, Loops arrives. I open it up, and you have the two ear thingies, and then you have like 4 sets of different sized silicone buds to put on the end. And I'm just gonna say, either I really, really have issues with basic things, or like nobody else is bitching about this, because I took off the ones that it came with because those looked too small. They actually were. I tried them. And so I go to put the other sized ones on, and it is not easy to do. It took me literally like 30-40 minutes to put one on. I watched videos on how to do it. Like, you can't just pop it on. And it was just like, you line it up and then you press. Well, it's hard to get it in there when, like, I don't know, it's just hard. But yeah, I watched videos because I was like, you know how like when you're doing something and it seems so basic and you can't do it, and you think to yourself, like, it can't be me. Like, there's no way. Like, maybe I'm missing something. And then, so you feel a little bit hopeful, and then you go and you research and you find out, nope, it's you. And that's how I felt. I wanted to see, like, am I doing it wrong or whatever? And I was so pissed. And then the second one that I put on took half the time with the first one, so that was fine. And then I go to put them in. It's just not comfortable. It's like wearing earplugs, like literal earplugs all day long. And it sounds like, you know, when you have your ears plugged, you can hear your breathing. It sounds different. You can like hear when you swallow saliva or whatever. And like, it's just distracting. Like, it's like you're underwater. And I noticed that was a complaint, but I didn't see it as frequently as I thought I would. And I also, I don't know, like, how Loops is helpful. Like, I bought, well, I'm not on pot, well, I am, but it hasn't kicked in yet. It's edible, so I don't know why I said that. Oh, what was I gonna say? Pot, but I meant bought. Oh, man. Is there an episode that I ever do that I don't forget something I'm getting ready to say. I don't even know what I was going to say. Sorry about this. This is definitely not my usual time to record, but I don't think it really matters what time of the day I get on here. But anyways, don't remember really what I was going to say about that. I'll just stay on the topic of loops because I know I was at least talking about those. I don't like how they feel in my ears. I don't like, it doesn't matter what size of the silicone thingy that I attach to the end of the loopy thing, or, the actual thing. Maybe that's what I was going to say. There's like, it doesn't filter sound like Calmer does. Like Calmer has no closing over the holes. They're both open. And they allow the sound to come through, so like you can hear things normally. It's just way less harsh, and it definitely helps my misophonia big time. Oh my god. Because I feel like I would want to stab Alicia every time I have to like eat around or hear her eat around me. It's just like, you guys with misophonia know, it's like immediate rage, and I still would like to know like why does this happen? But it helps with that. I don't even really hear most of like her gross sounds when she eats, so that's cool. But loops, I might wear those outside the house, but I don't see how they filter sound the way that Calmer does, because they just it has like a small covering, but it's like I don't know, like a filmy thing, or like maybe like. It's not like a solid cover, so sound can get through the holes, but it just doesn't sound like it is. I don't know. Sorry about trying to describe the thing, and they're hurtful. Like, they hurt my ears. My ears are so uncomfortable. Maybe I would just wear them outside to see if they would help, just going to the store or something. But I don't want to wear them frequently because they're going to like enlarge my ear holes. And then if that happens, I can't wear the Calmer earbuds because those will just fall right out. And they don't right now. So I'm going to stick with Calmer. But I would say loops are just like earplugs, and they were painful to me. I did not like them. They did nothing for filtering sound. It just muffled stuff, and it just seemed pretty useless to me. But there are people out there it helps. I'm just surprised that the rating that got was 4.5 versus 3.5 for Flare Audio's Calmer, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the Calmer ear things. It's just made such a difference. I could tell you all the ways, but I'm not like advertising for them. Alicia said I should look into getting like an affiliate link or whatever. And I told her, hey, I don't want to be that person that's doing like a podcast like this. Just like, it's not even it's just me talking. I'm not going to make people listen to me, like, talking about something else. Like, I don't know, I find that kind of annoying. Like, I don't like commercials, period. Whether they're on TV or the podcasts, whatever, I hate them. And I don't want to make other people listen to it. And plus, I don't even know how the fuck that shit works. I don't know, like, what is this link? Where do you put it? Do you get paid whenever it's clicked on? Like, I don't know how that whole thing works, and I'm really not that interested. Even though I do like to make a buck whenever I can, I don't really care about that. Hi, honey. It's my soul kitty. Anyways, I don't know how helpful my verbal review was, but if you're having issues with like, sounds and hearing, I would suggest I would try the Calmer, but you're free to try loops because maybe they'll work for you. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I am a little nervous about talking. It's about Love on the Spectrum, the newest season that just came out for the US edition or version or whatever. It came out not that long ago. I know I've talked about that show on here before. And I know that I'm about to voice the same concerns and frustrations that I did the first time around. So there is going to be repetition here. But what was surprising to me is I'm watching the first episode, and I already know that this show does not show all parts of the spectrum. It seems like I don't know how to say, that's why I'm worried about talking. I'm not trying to offend people. I just want to say the autistic people that go on this show, I love them. There is nothing about them that I don't like. I love to see how they interact. I love to learn about them. They're quirky, like they're funny. I like them. I have nothing against them at all. At all. I just wanted to make that clear. What I have issues with is there's no representation for people like me. And so within the first 5 minutes of episode 1, I surprised myself with how immediately like pissed off I was. Like I was legit like angry. And it wasn't at the people on the show. It was the fact that like you're still making the same show. Like, can't you just do like, if you're gonna, I have some suggestions. Anybody that work at Netflix out there? I don't know. If you're listening, like you need to make some changes to this show, because at the very least, like make each season up. I don't know. Like, I don't think that there's maybe not certain types of autistic people. Like my wording, I'm so sorry. I'm like nervous about, I don't want to offend anybody, and I'm not trying to. I think it's unfair that I can't see representations on TV of people like me on my part of the spectrum. And I am also irritated that they are matching autistic people up with other autistic people, like exclusively, it seems like. And I don't understand that. Like, you don't have to pair them up with another autistic person. Like, you can try somebody else. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird. Maybe it isn't, but it just kind of seems like that. I don't know. I feel like kind of like I do when I'm watching Married at First Sight. Like, I feel like people are in a zoo and the narrator, whoever's talking, is like, and now they're about to connect in the issues that they were having before. Like, you know, like you're talking, like you're on an animal documentary or something. And I feel like there is, I don't want to say like a level of dehumanizing, because I think that's the wrong word to use, but it's like, I haven't seen if this season has like the quote expert person come in to teach social skills. I haven't seen one yet, because I know those were in other seasons, like with other versions from other countries too. But I don't know, like I just think that, I don't know. I'm so sorry. Like I if you're still listening, I should just say how I feel. I'm sorry about however it sounds, but I feel like the fact that you're matching them up with like other people like them isn't necessarily a good idea. I don't see any part, like they probably did like describe to producers like, these are the kinds of people I like. And I see that they go on blind date things, those speed dating things. That's been a common one that they go on. I feel like when they make honest mistake, like the one guy, he was doing speed dating and he had his paper in front of him, and it was like a yes or no checklist of the people that he was meeting with. And next to the name, he would click, or he would check yes or no. Like, yes, I want to get to know them more. No, I don't want to. And he was checking no in front of the women, and they could see it. And finally, a producer was like, do you realize that like they can see what you're writing? Or he said something like that. And the guy was like, oh, really? And part of me was like, why didn't you say this to him sooner? Did you really, was this just now you noticed it? Or did you just notice it before? Like, you could have just told him after the first time. Because like we get embarrassed pretty easily. But I just thought that the way that the guy said it, I don't know, like half of me thinks he was just being a friendly person pointing out something. And the other half was like, it's like you're talking to a kid or something, like the tone of the voice. Like, I don't know. I think that could have just been clouded by the immense amount of anger that I felt that just came out of nowhere. I did not know that the frustrations about this show have been growing inside of me, and they just came out when I started watching like the newer season. And I feel very conflicted today. It's just like, part of me wants to watch the rest of the episodes. Another part of me wants to just stop watching the show. But I like the people. So I don't know that I'll just not watch the show because I like the people on there. But yeah, like, I'm just pissed off about the lack of representation from the rest of the spectrum, because there's more of this. It's why it's called a spectrum. Like, put other parts of the spectrum on the show and let those people that are on those parts of the spectrum feel like they can see themselves. Because I feel like when people watch shows like this, they assume that all autistic people are like what they see on the show. And this is where, like, I'm afraid to say, like, I don't know what's going to sound offensive, because I just, I'm ignorant sometimes, even though I bitch about other people being ignorant, but, like, and there's nothing wrong with the people that are on that show. Like, I don't know how to say this properly, but I feel like this is the impression that people are thinking that, like, all autistic people are like. And so, like, when you say you're autistic and the vision that they have in their mind doesn't fit with you, like, they won't believe you or something. I'm also tired of hearing autism being called like a disability, because I did think it was at one point, but now I don't think it's a disability. I think it really is, like, it's like superpowers. It gives us superpowers. Like, we have to put up with some bullshit, but there's a lot of cool stuff we can do that other people can't. And this show is not helping things, in my opinion. It's just not, like, I think the idea was a good one. I don't know which country started this show first. I want to say it was America, but who knows? But I don't know, like, it's annoying the fuck out of me, and I get that I don't have to watch it, but I know that there's thousands of people out there watching this show who don't know much about autism and think that that is it. And when you see episode after episode, season after season, some of the same autistic people are in it, from one season to the next, and some you only see like once. But I don't know. I don't like it. And it needs to be more diverse. And I think I'm just repeating myself over and over again, but I'm kind of feeling irritated just talking about this show. Because that's what people are going to think when they hear autism if they don't know much about it. Oh, that's what I was going to say. People have, like, the same people from the similar parts of the spectrum is what they're seeing on every episode. So if that's the only part of the spectrum you're showing, that's the only, I don't know, like, that's the only thing that people will think of, in my opinion. I don't even know if any of this made sense. I probably just lost a bunch of you. I'm so sorry if this was, like, rude or whatever, but I haven't felt that pissed off in a long time, and I haven't had anger just fly out of nowhere like that about, like, watching something on TV. It was just the weirdest thing. I just got so pissed, and I know I already said that like 20 times, but I was so pissed. I want to see more shows with people like me, and if they do exist, can somebody tell me, like, the ones that I haven't mentioned on this podcast before that maybe I can check out, because sometimes I feel like there's a bunch of something that I just can't find. that everybody else has access to. And like part of me wonders if like, is there a whole bunch of like autistic shows of some sort about people like me out there that were, that are similar to me and I just don't know about them. But yeah, and then I also have thoughts of, does a show like this even need to be made? Finding love on the spectrum, because like, what does that imply? That autistic people have great difficulty, like the majority of them have great difficulty finding like relationships and stuff and people that like them and they like that's not true. There's plenty of autistic people that they know what they're doing, and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But if there's anybody out there that makes documentaries, like, I don't know who does what out there. If any of you guys make documentaries, can you like make one with like more information about autism, like an easy to digest pieces for the ordinary people that need to learn about us, and they need to see that there's different kinds of autism. Or no, see, that's what I was hoping to not say. I meant like different kinds of autistic people. That's different than what I said the first time. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how to word things. But yeah, I just want to see more of me on the TV. And I know that we're out there, that people like me are out there because I listen to their podcasts and I read their books. But I just want to see like more TV shows or more documentaries, like just throwing autism in ordinary people's faces so that they have to, every time they look around, it's an autism show or like a documentary, or, so that they can better understand that we're people just like them. We're human beings just like them. There's nothing wrong with being autistic. You're not less than if you're autistic. But yeah, I'll just end that here. I don't know how helpful this episode was. Maybe like the first half might have been more helpful than like this part, but I just needed to say this out loud. I'm not going to watch another episode for a while because I'm just angry about something that I can't change right now, which is the fact that there's no shows like that about people like me that have my version of autism. I don't even know if that was like the proper thing for me to say. So I'm not trying to be, offensive. I'm sorry if I am. And actually, like, if I was offensive with anything I said, I would welcome emails telling me, like, don't ever say that again, because I need to know these things, because you know how autistic people are. Like, we miss the obvious sometimes. Like, I say things all the time. I try to make, I don't know. I'm just talking in circles. Just please email me if I said something dumb than I usually do. Well, I don't really think oh my God, I think the edible's kicking in. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Are you going to talk? No, you just want your treats. Here, you can listen to this real quick. Hold on. Here, get another one. Does anybody out there who has misophonia not mind listening to their pets eat and drink? I think it is so cute, and I am not bothered at all by listening to my cats crunch on stuff. Why does it not apply to animals, but it applies to humans? Does anybody have that answer? If you do, please send it my way. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.